You are here for one thing only, and that is to watch more based animes. Well, I got some awesome news to share because these amazing anime are pretty much getting sequels in 2026 and also in 2027, and the wait in the end will be so worth it, I tell you. So get your calendar ready and start marking because there is plenty to go through in this today's video. The final boss of the world returns 200 years later, and everyone still fears her name as Rufus, the black-winged tyrant. She was the former ruler of a powerful empire and now a guy who suddenly awakens 200 years after her defeat inside the body of her game character. The world completely changed. Her former followers are just scattered around and powerful enemies now move in the shadows. Season 2 for a while last boss appeared, expanding the scale of the story, focusing so much and stronger enemies and hidden truths, and of course the growing impact of Lupus returning to a world that still fears her legacy. What makes it really engaging is the balance between absurd power and even the mystery. The main character Lupus is already incredibly strong, but the world around her keeps revealing larger threats, even unanswered questions. Number 9 Gate Season 3. A strange portal reopened in modern day Japan where warships are entering a fantasy world full of monsters and kingdoms. Do you know, guys, realize that it's been 11 damn years since the previous season of Gate? Yeah, it's been so long, and finally Peak is returning in 2027. The story takes place after the gates reopens, bringing the Japan self-defense force back into the fantasy world. This time though, the focus shifts towards naval warfare, a political conflict, piracy, and large-scale operations across the sea instead of just land battles. What makes it great is the contrast between modern military technology and of course a fantasy setting filled with kingdoms, monsters, and magic. But unlike most isekai, the strength just comes from tactics, military coordination, and realism rather than one overpowered main character, because this time or like always is going to be the whole Japanese self-defense force. In number 8 we have The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic Season 2. He was supposed to be just a normal average healer but turned healing magic into one of the most dangerous fighting style in the entire world. The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic continues one of the most unique accidental summon to overpowered healer fighter progression in Isekai Anime. The story follows your average guy named Usato who was actually just dragged into another world by accident and forced into brutal rescue team training after discovering he was just a rare healing magic. Instead of becoming a normal support character, he turns out the healing magic into a combat style built around the endurance, strength, and survival. Season 2 continues his journey with stronger enemies, larger battles, and new characters, while expanding the world beyond the first season's training and war arc. Number 7. The Imminent in the Shadow Lost Echoes. Now for me, boys and girls, 2027 just probably holds the most exciting isekai that returns for a movie sequel to continue the story of one of the greatest isekai protagonists I have ever witnessed in anime. Sid Kagano, a boy who is obsessed with becoming a powerful figure operating from the shadows. What started as him just role-playing his fantasy eventually actually became the great, turning him into a leader of the Shadow Garden, while massive conflicts just unfold around him without him fully realizing it. Now the movie called The Lost Echoes will continue directly after Season 2 and is expected to pretty much adapt the Return to the Earth arc, which will bring Sid Kagano to modern-day Japan while connecting both worlds together. What makes it really exciting for me and probably many others is the contrast between how seriously everyone treats Shadow and how casually Sid Kagano treats everything around him. The combination and absurd power and comedy, the dark fantasy really gives the series a unique identity. Number 6. Tougen Anki Season 2. Here is a series that refused to be written off. Tougen Anki Season 1 had a rough start, there is no point pretending otherwise, but by the time it hits the back half, something clicked. The mythology started breathing, the power system started making sense, and Shiki Ichinosuke started feeling there like a protagonist worth investing in. Season 2 is officially titled the Nikko Kaigen Falls Arc, and manga readers who have been through this arc says it is a significant step up. The stakes are higher, the Oni Momotaro war gets deeper and darker, and a new character named Hayate Todoroki enters the picture to shake everything up. Nobuhiko Okamoto is joining the cast as an instructor who is polite on the surface with something clear lurking underneath. The entire creative team of the Season 1 is back because the second half of the Season 1 exactly shows what is the production is capable when it's find its rhythm. October 2026 is about to be crowded. Tougen Anki is going to fight for its spot. Number 5. Tomb Raider King. If you've been solo leveling and immediately started looking for the next thing, there is strong chance someone pointed you there. Tomb Raider King is a manhwa adaptation that regression power fantasy crowd has been waiting for. The setup is peak power fantasy done smart. Ju Hin's CEO is a Tomb Raider in a world where the mysterious relics grant supernatural abilities. He gets betrayed, dies, and wakes up 15 years in the past with every piece of knowledge he spent a lifetime acquiring. What makes the difference from started revenge isekai is how Ju Hyun operates. He is not a brawler, he is a strategist. He dismantles organizations before they even realize they have lost. He collects relics not just for power but with specific long game intentions. The manhwa has a massive following and fan expectations going to into this adaptation is enormous. If the pacing holds and the animation captures the cold, calculating energy that makes Ju Hyun such a compelling protagonist, this is going to be a binge watch even from the moment the first episode drops. In number 4, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world. This guy, well, the ultimate being, was reborn into another world with one mission, that is to assassinate the hero before the world is destroyed. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated continues one of the cleanest elite assassins to perfectly calculated core power novel. The main protagonist named Liu, he is the world's greatest assassin who was reborn into a fantasy world with a fat for family of aristocrat killers with a massive to eliminate the hero destined to destroy the world. But instead of relying on brute strength, he just combines assassin techniques, strategy, and even magic and planning to stay ahead of everyone else around him. Season 2 will pretty much, well, it's actually pretty much confirmed for 2026 at point, and although the wait is long, it will be so worth it to see this anime. What it makes great is how controlled and intelligent the progression feels compared to typical power fantasy anime. Number 3, Apothecary Diaries Season 3. Every season of Apothecary Diaries has been better than the last. That is not a common thing. Most anime sequels maintain a few improve slightly but some decline, and this series keeps escalating in quality and depth. It does it without the usual tricks, no sudden power spikes, no manufactured drama, just sharp writing and a protagonist who solves problems through intelligence rather than force. Season 3 is confirmed and it's making Mao Mao the out of the inner palace entirely. After the fall of Shi clan, Jinxie has stepped out in a miss role as a member of the royal family, and the story moves north of farming villagers where the mysterious incident are developing. Alongside Season 3, a completely original theatrical film is also arriving with a brand new story written by the original author herself. An 8.91 on my anime list is not an accident. The series earned the rating that hard to weigh through consistency, restraint, and the understanding that quite intelligence can be as gripping as the spectacle. Season 3 is going to be proof that again. Number 2, Dragon Ball Super Beaters. Dragon Ball is back and this time they are doing it right. This is not the continuation of You Are Just Expecting Just Yet. This is something different. Dragon Ball Super Beaters is a complete enhanced reconstruction of the Beaters arc, and it is getting the full prestige treatment. We are talking about the redrawn cards, brand new scenes, and that were not in the original 2015 run. Fully re-rendered footage, freshly recorded dialogue, and a story reconstructed to the perfectly align with Akira Toriyama's original version. If you remember the rough animation from the original TV launch, the inconsistent frames, the rushed pacing, and the moments that felt incomplete, that is the redemption arc we have been all waiting for. The art direction draws inspiration from Dragon Ball Super Broly, which many consider the best animated remake. Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol was announced after a brand new series adapting the Moro arc. Toei is rebuilding the runaway properly for 2026 when the hype officially returns. Number 1, Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. The calamity. There is something poetic about Bleach ending in 2026. One of the legendary Big 3, a series that started over 2 decades ago, got cancelled before it could finish, came back through sheer fan willpower, and now gets to cross the finish line on its own terms. If you have missed the hype, the animation in return has been on a completely different level. Basically a high budget movie every single week. That last part ended with everything literally falling apart. The billions have rewritten reality itself, and our heroes are making a final desperate stand in floating city in the sky. And now here is the part that makes this unmissable. Even if you already know the manga ending, title Kubo himself is adding brand new scenes that were never in the manga. The original ending was rushed. Fans know it. Kubo knows that this is his chance to tell the version of the story he always meant to tell. When the final episode airs, it will not just the end of the Bleach, it will be the closing of a chapter for an entire generation. You cannot miss this. If this video did help the empty space by giving you all the more best anime to watch, which I hope it did, then do and give it a thumbs up and let me know the comments down below which anime you are going to be watching from this list. If you want to know the top 10 best anticipated anime of 2026, then click the left video, and if you want to know the top 10 must watch anime of 2026, then click the right video, and I will see you in all to the next video.